Lauren.
Lauren.
Perfect timing.
Do we see everyone? All right, great. So we have a few attendees who have just joined us, so thank you for today. This is a webinar format, so those attendees, your videos and your sound will be off, just so you know that. But if you do have any questions throughout the session, we're asking that you please use the Q&A section that's along the toolbar on your screen. So if you do have questions, please type them in there, and then the panelists will get to your questions during their presentation. Please note that this is being recorded, so if you would want to watch it again, you'll have the chance to do that. And then also, please note that PACAC, where you signed up through this for, the Pennsylvania Association for College Admissions Counseling, has a lot of events going on. So we're asking that you please sign up for as many as you can and take advantage of this amazing program that they're putting on. So with all that being said, I'd like to now pass it over to our panelists who are going to present to you the session, Learning Outside the Classroom. I'm going to hide and I'll be back in a bit.
All right, well, while Lauren's doing that, we can do our really quick intros. My name is Allison Vendetti, and I'm from Arcadia University.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Masa Zenekwe, and I am here from Delaware Valley University.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Burke, and I'm from Pennsylvania College of Technology.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zach, and I'm from the University of Pittsburgh campus.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Krause, and I'm from Lycoming College.
Thanks again for joining us. So today's session is called Learning Outside of the Classroom, and this is really talking about experiential learning. If you're not familiar with what experiential learning is, I've put a nice, short, and sweet little definition here for you. Experiential learning is the process of learning through experience or learning by doing. Another way to think about experiential learning is hands-on learning. This is another form of experiential learning. So if you're in high school right now, think about those science classes, those chemistry classes, those labs that you have when you get to do experiments or cool things like that, or internships that you may have taken part in, or volunteer, those types of activities. Those are just some examples of experiential learning. So we're going to give you some examples of different forms of hands-on learning outside the classroom that you're going to get when you come to college. Some examples are going to come from our respective schools and our institutions that we have.
All right, so I get to start off. As I said, my name is Allison Vendetti. I'm the Associate Director of Undergraduate Admissions and Financial Aid. For those of you not familiar with Arcadia, we are located in Montgomery County. So we're in Glenside, Pennsylvania. We're about 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia. We're about a medium-sized school. As you can see on the slide, our average class size is 14 students, and our student-to-faculty ratio is 12:1. We have over 65 different majors that students are able to choose from. And fun fact about Arcadia, we have a castle on our campus, which is a housing option for our first-year students. So that's pretty exciting. The Arcadia Promise actually affirms that our students will have a distinctively global, integrated, and personal learning experience during their time at the university. So learning outside of the classroom is a very big part of an Arcadia education. Arcadia has actually been nationally ranked for study abroad for over a decade, and students are offered the chance to go abroad as early as their first year through our preview program and also our first year study abroad experience. At the upperclassmen level, we do have a wide variety of exciting opportunities for students to get that global experience, and these experiences range from the traditional semester abroad to a week-long experience that goes along with a class that students will be taking on campus. So you can see the list right there of all the kind of different options. So as far as other kind of outside of the classroom learning, our Office of Career Education works very closely with Arcadia students to prepare them for life after graduation. 80% of our graduates had completed some kind of an internship, research, or practicum opportunity during their time at Arcadia. And while the majority of our students are doing their internships locally in the Philadelphia area, We do also offer opportunities for internships abroad. We've actually had students who've interned with foreign companies, and we actually even have had students who've interned with Parliament, which is really cool if you think about it. One of our students was interning with Parliament when they were working on Brexit and was actually helping them while they were doing that. So that's what we said, that student, he was a part of history while he was over there. So that's really awesome for our students to be able to have that opportunity. We also offer various university co-curricular programs that students can participate in that really enhance your college experience. These co-curricular programs allow students to explore their passions and interests through real-world experiences and not just in the classroom. So you can see up there, obviously, we talk a lot about internships. They're a good opportunity in every college that you're going to, and some of you are even probably doing them in high school. So we do have some scholarship related programs. College to career students are able to work with our Office of Career Education to really kind of develop those skills at a very early point in their college career that are going to make them successful in the job market when they do leave us. Civic Scholars is a partnership program through our Office of Social Impact, and students are actually currently working with a local, one of our local senators, and they are kind of working together. We have a Arcadia Votes campaign. It's a nonpartisan, the picture down there with the kickoff of it, it's a nonpartisan kind of project that they're working on to really make sure that all of our students' voices are being heard. Honors program is obviously our honors program. Global Scholars is for students who are looking to even get a more global experience through studying abroad and experiences all over the world, basically. The Social Action and Justice Education Fellowship is a fellowship for minority students who are hoping to go into the education field. So that's really creating some great opportunities for those students. And as I mentioned with study abroad, in addition to studying abroad, doing internships abroad, a good number of our students also do research abroad. So we have a lot of different opportunities where students are able to, while they're studying abroad, kind of add an extra layer to that with some kind of research abroad. So that is everything that I have for Arcadia, so I will turn it over.
Hi everyone, again, I'm Katie Burke, I'm from Penn College. For those of you that don't know, we are located in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. We have about 5,000 students that attend Penn College. We offer over 100 majors, and we have both 2- and 4-year programs, as well as a combined bachelor's master's for our physician assistant program. We have a graduate placement rate of about 98%. And we offer small class sizes. So our average class size is about 16 students. Penn College is a national leader in applied hands-on education. So on this slide, you can see a variety of labs that we have here on campus where students are getting hands-on experience and working in real-world settings. Because we have 150 plus labs with state-of-the-art equipment, our students are learning their fields inside and out before graduation. In our dental hygiene clinic that you can see in the top left corner, students are able to provide preventative care to real clients. And our other students are able to come to campus and have their teeth cleaned in our dental hygiene clinic for just $5. So an exciting perk. Our automotive students, which you can see in the bottom right there, they're also getting a full experience of what it's like to run a shop by rotating through the customer service aspect. They're going to be ordering parts and diagnosing what's wrong with the vehicle, as well as turning wrenches in the body shop that we have here on campus. You'll also see one of our culinary and baking students there. So our students have the opportunity to work in the kitchen that we have here on campus for Lejeune Chef, which is our on-campus casual fine dining restaurant that's open to the public. And they're actually crafting these recipes with lettuce and other produce that's grown by our horticulture students. So we love showing off our students' work here and incorporating them into the real world as much as we can. Just for an idea, we do have, our students will have for every 1 hour of lecture, about 3 hours of lab time. Our welding students too, for example, they're getting about 20 hours in the week. So you're really having that chance to get that hands-on experience and perfect your craft while you're still here on campus. So you can have that nice transition from your lab and from your classroom into the workforce. So other great opportunities that are available to students outside of the classroom so they can learn and kind of gain more experience than just a typical lecture are through studying abroad and then work-based learning opportunities. So many of our programs will have internships built into the curriculum, but even if a program that you're interested in doesn't have the internship built in, you can absolutely still have an internship scheduled. So we'll have career services start working with our students in their first year to start, planning ahead and working out what's going to look best on your resume and how you can really help yourself to stand out from employers. Career services will also help to connect you with employers for internships, as well as your academic advisor and other faculty across campus, because they all have that real world experience that's relevant in the industry now. So we also have career fairs here twice a year where students are able to meet with employers and get set up with internships that way. And then of course, many internships and clinical rotations will end up turning into employment. So they're a great opportunity for students to kind of try out their career field and find out what they like, as well as start networking and meeting employers in your respective industries. So Allison talked a little bit about study abroad, and what that looks like at Penn College is varied. So we have a range of programs, and they'll, some of them be 8 days long, and then we also have semester long options too. Some of them will be program specific, like our nursing students are going to Guatemala, dental hygiene to the Dominican Republic, but many of them will be open to majors across campus. So all of our students have the opportunity to participate. And what's great about studying abroad is that you'll get to travel, obviously, but you're also earning credits to put towards your degree. Another way to get involved on campus through experiential learning, and I think everyone here that could agree with this, is just to get involved on campus. Check out what clubs and organizations are available to you, and what you can add with leadership experience, especially to your resume, to make yourself stand out from employers. And I will turn it over to Massa, I believe. Zach, sorry.
And I am muted, of course. Hi, everybody. Just as a reminder, if you do have any questions, go ahead and use that Q&A function, and we'll either answer those questions live at the end, or we'll type the answer in. If you have a question for a specific school, just put that school in there as well, too. So once again, my name is Zach, and I'm an admissions counselor at the University of Pittsburgh campus. I do apologize, this slide is a little tiny on our screens today. So I'm just gonna give you a brief overview of Pitt, and then I'll talk a little more about some other outside of the classroom type experiences. So for those of you who are not familiar, Pitt is in Pittsburgh, which is in Western Pennsylvania. It is considered a mid-sized university. We have about 20,000 undergraduate students and about 10,000 graduate students. Our freshman class is normally about 4,000 students or so. You can see some basic facts about the university on the screen. We have over 100 majors. There's 5 freshman entry schools that you would apply to, including arts and sciences, engineering, business, computing information, and nursing, as well as upper level division schools that you could go into, things like pharmacy, health and rehab science, education, and social work. So just a few basic facts about the university, but I do want to spend the majority of time talking about the outside of the classroom type experiences. So like a lot of people mentioned already, and we'll go on to mention, there are so many things that you can get involved with. And I definitely would encourage you to both follow your passions as well as look at those academic options related to the major that you're interested in going into. And I'm just going to talk about a few of them today, honestly, because we are a mid-sized university and we are a research institute. There's a lot of things that you can do that I'm not going to be able to cover today. So I'm just going to talk about kind of the tip of the iceberg here. The first of which is our first experiences in research class. So this is a 1-credit course that you can take as early as your first semester freshman year. And essentially this course is going to teach you the do's and don'ts of working on a research project. And after that class is completed, you'll be assigned a research project with one of our faculty. Now, I'm going to be upfront. This may not be the research that you've always been dying to do as a student. It is an assignment, but what it is a great way for you to get that experience. And then later on, you might go to a professor for a class that you have and say, hey, I really love what you're doing. Do you have any research positions that I could get involved with? And they probably will say, I do, but what type of experience do you have already? And then you can point to the fact that you've taken this class, that you've already worked on a current research project, but you want to move on to something you're a little more passionate about. So it's a really great way to kind of get your foot in the door, put something on your resume, and have experience for later on. Now, you can do that experience then starting your second semester freshman year at the very earliest. So then you have a ton of time over the next few years at your time at Pitt to build on those experiences. The next guarantee that we have is an internship guarantee, and this is through our Career Services Office. Now, our Career Services Office works with students as early as their first week on campus. When you come for Welcome Week, they do have a job shadowing experience that you can take place in that goes downtown. So we want to get students involved with that office as early as possible. But if you don't have to work with them that early, if you come back later on, if you're interested in just internship, they can work with you to make that happen. So they offer local, national, and international opportunities. If you're doing a study abroad program in a native English speaking country, you can have an internship while you're abroad. But some of the students do specifically take time to go abroad to complete internships. So maybe it's over the summer or they take a semester off. That's something that the Career Service Office can help you with. They also have job fairs and internship fairs throughout the year. Some of them are on campus, some of them are in the building, some of them are in the Career Service Office, and some of them are at the Convention Center in downtown Pittsburgh. Now, in general, the outside of the classroom curriculum is kind of this overarching idea that helps students build up their resume again. So there are 10 core areas. They're going to be things like leadership, global studies, social justice, those sorts of topics. And you'll take either a course or go to a lecture or have a special outside of the classroom experience that will fit in those 10 core areas. So this is a way for you to build those soft skills. So this is not academic, it's not about history, it's not about biology, it's about making the ability for you to say and go on to an employer in the future and show that you have those skills that you learned in college and not just the academic sections. So that's something that our students can participate in. It is not required, but it's a good way to kind of help you build that resume. And then the last thing I want to touch on is access to the city of Pittsburgh in general. And this is certainly not a program through Pitt. It's just a way that you can really get involved as a Pitt student. So the picture on the slide, you can see the Cathedral of Learning in the foreground there. Most of those buildings are campus for the most part that you can see in the foreground. Some of them are hospitals, some of them are educational buildings. And then you can see downtown Pittsburgh in the background. So we really encourage students to think of the city as their campus. You'll get a fare-free bus card, so you can ride on any public transportation in the county. You'll get free admissions to the local museums. You'll get discounted tickets to the art events around the city. And then that also gives you that connection to the 6 teaching hospitals on campus, plus the VA Medical Center, just to name an example. So we really want students to get involved out in the greater community as much as possible. And that might be through internships, it might be through research, it might be through volunteer work, or it might just be for fun. But that's all part of making sure that you're prepared to go on to be successful after graduation.
Hello again, my name is Masa Ezenekwe from Delaware Valley University. So I'll tell you a little bit about Del Val. We are a small private school in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, which is about 30 miles north of Philadelphia. Now, our campus itself, we think of it as a living laboratory. Even though we're a small school, we sit on, our main campus sits on about 500 acres. So it's a bit of a, like I said, a living laboratory, especially when it comes to experiential learning, learning outside the classroom. You'll get a lot of those experiences just on campus itself. So being a small campus, we have a total student enrollment, undergraduate student enrollment of about just over 1,900 students. So much smaller than the other schools that you've met so far during this presentation. One of the things about Del Val that sets it apart from a lot of other schools is, if you look on the slide, you see where it says at the bottom, 100% real world experience. 100% of our students are going to have real world outside of the classroom experience before graduation. This is the hallmark of a Del Val education, and it really speaks to our Experience 360 program. We'll talk about that in the next slide. So the Experience 360 program actually really prepares you for that next step after college. It's kind of what Del Val is all about. Whether you're going to go on to graduate school or going to go on to the workforce, the goal of it is to make sure that you get that experience. So no matter what you come in studying, whether you're a business major, whether you're an animal science major, whether you're a communications major, whether you're in education, it doesn't matter really what your major is. You're going to be guaranteed to get, you're going to be required actually to get hands-on, outside of the classroom, real-world experience in your field of study. Now, this takes place in a variety of different ways at Del Val. And some of those ways, you know, you'll get them at a lot of other schools like the study abroad, internship, research. Those are all different things that you can do. I'll give you a couple of examples at Del Val. When you start as a freshman, for example, you're going to take a class that's called a Del Val Experience class. Everyone takes this class. It teaches you about experiential learning. If you're not familiar with it, if you've never done any kind of experiential learning, you learn about it. And you also get professional development. So by professional development, think resume. If you've never done a resume before, you're gonna learn how to do one. You're gonna leave the class with a resume. If same thing with a cover letter, you're gonna learn networking skills. You're gonna learn interview skills. If you're familiar with all of these things already, we're gonna help you improve upon those skills in that class. So everyone that comes to Del Val is taking that class, because once you take that class as a foundation, then the next step is actually getting that real life experience, that Experience 360. This is going to be built into your curriculum. So part of your major requirement is going to include an experience, as we call it. So it could look like a study abroad. So I'll give you an example. Animal science programs that we have. Some of the classes come with a study abroad component built into them. One class, for example, is a tropical ecology class. They take a trip as part of the class to Costa Rica. So whatever they may be studying in the classroom, you know, they get to experience it in real life. So if it's a certain species that they're looking at, they get to see it in its natural habitat. So that real life experience you're gonna get. Another study abroad example would be one of our place studies program. So this is an example is a world literature class. They study literature from different parts of the world. Last year, they did Japan, literature from Japan. As a class, they took a trip to Japan. So that area that they were studying about, they actually got to see it in real life. So that kind of real life experience through a study abroad experience, you're gonna get that. Internships, you know, you're probably, you know, these schools have talked about a lot of these internships opportunities, and there's many opportunities for that at Del Val as well. We have partnerships with various different organizations and companies throughout the state of Pennsylvania and even outside of Pennsylvania as well, that you can get connected with. Our Center for Student Professional Development is an office on campus that deals with career services. We bring employers to campus where you can connect with them, networking with them. Our staff in that office help get you connected with different internship opportunities and career exploration opportunities. So if you kind of already have in mind something that you want to do or a path that you think you want to go into, we're going to help you make sure that you build those skills and make sure that you get that experience in that field. So if you want to be a vet, for example, and you want to do an internship at a vet clinic, or maybe you want to work with, I'm using a lot of animals as examples. If you want to work in a zoo, you know, we have internship programs that would allow you to like do that at a zoo. We have some of them that are built into some of our majors, like our zoo science major, for example. It has an internship component that's built into it. So you're guaranteed an internship at a zoo as part of that major. Just as an example, student research is something else that you can do as well. So, you know, if you're interested in a certain topic that you want to study, being a small school, you know, it's a great opportunity for you to build relationships with the faculty member, with your professors. They get to know you. So when you do have a research interest, it makes it a lot easier for you to kind of approach a professor, for them to supervise you on a research project that you might be interested in doing, or maybe you might want to help out on a research that a professor is already doing, because again, being a small school, you get to kind of develop a relationship with your professors, with the teachers. So having that kind of close relationship, that personal attention, it really helps build that for you to kind of approach them for these kinds of research opportunities. Now, outside of study abroad, internships, and research, there are other things outside of the classroom experiences you can get as well that's built into our curriculum in any kind of major, actually. So leadership development, being parts of clubs and organizations, those are outside of the classroom learning experiences that help build leadership, that also count as outside of the classroom learning. So community service, civic engagement work. So if you're a person who already does some volunteer work, you're doing a lot of outside of the classroom learning already, which is wonderful, which is great. It's all of those experiences, all of those skills that you're developing through those volunteer work, through those leadership development, community service. Those are skills that are going to enhance your applications, whether for grad school or for employers. But at Del Val specifically, all of those types of experiences that you learn outside of the typical lecture, outside of the books. We think of those as experiences that kind of count to build your resume. So you're going to graduate with not just a degree, but also with job skills and a resume that will help you get to that next step in your life. The next slide, I'm just going to show you a couple of photos of just some experiences our students have been involved with. These are actual Del Val students. So I'll start with the top left-hand corner. This is a former student with the Eagles. So our students have done internship opportunities and career exploration with different sports teams in the area. This particular student, she currently works to train the eagle for the Philadelphia Eagles, so the team mascot. But that was something that she was studying, working with animals, and then she happened to get employment with the team, working directly with the mascot. Bottom under that, students at conferences. These are psychology students, so conference opportunities are something you'll also get as part of your education and your learning. And with that counseling psychology program specifically, if you go back up to that top middle photo, there's a counseling psychology lab. This is just one of the facilities we have right on our campus. So our students, part of their learning is working within that lab. So using the same equipment, the same kind of facilities that the professionals will use in the field. Bottom, those are our landscape students out actually, doing the work as if they were, professionals, grading the field and getting it all set up. So that direct type of outside the classroom learning how it's going to be when you're actually really in the workforce. I mentioned early on that our campus is a living laboratory. So there's a small photo on the bottom with a student in the field, all that greenery, that's actually our campus. We have a variety of plant and animal facilities on our campus. So we have students who take classes. Some of our classes actually are out on the field, whether they're out in the farms or in the barns with our animals at the equine center. Dairy barn, our horticulture center, our greenhouses, just a variety of different facilities on campus where actual classes are held. And then the remaining 3 photos, those are just examples of students out on study abroad experiences as part of either class or part of research, but they're all part of their Experience 360 activities that they're doing. So working directly with animals, I think, students doing care and management up at the top. So the Japan Place Studies program I mentioned earlier, that's that bottom right. And the one with the student with the elephant, that's a South Africa study abroad trip that students take. So just some few examples from Del Val specifically with students learning outside of the classroom, getting that real world, real life hands-on learning experience. And with that, I'll turn it on over to Lauren.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I was unmuted. Thank you everyone for sharing all your things. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Lauren Krause. I'm from Lycoming College. We're actually located in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, so we're actually neighbors with Penn College. So when Katie kind of talked about her institution, we're kind of just down the road from them. Lycoming College is a small institution, a small private institution. We have about 1,200 students on campus. We are one of the 50 oldest colleges in the nation. We were founded in 1812. So we do have our beautiful brick campus. It's gorgeous this time of year with all the fall leaves. Our ratio is kind of presented there. We have a breakdown of about 52 females and then the rest are males. We do have a pretty diverse campus here. We used to be known as more of a regional. However, we've kind of explored out getting students from over 15 countries and then throughout the United States through various states. And we're pretty proud of that, which just enhances your education, just being with a diverse group of students. And then as all of my colleagues kind of mentioned, I feel like all of us do really love the dedication that we have from our faculty. And so just like everyone else, at Lycoming, our faculty do have some of the highest degrees in their field, as high as they can go. And again, we have that 90 full-time faculty members that are involved with that. And I'll jump into kind of some of the opportunities that allow for that. And we have a 12-to-1 ratio, and almost by your senior year, you're looking at some of your classes being under 10 in those classrooms. So some of the things I wanted to talk about with our opportunities for students in terms of experiential learning. We are a liberal arts institution, so one of our praises is that we also give students that opportunity to really grow in different skill sets and become a well-rounded individual. So you will be taking classes that are in language, fine arts, and all those other pieces that kind of just accelerate what you learn here at Lycoming College. Some of the things to point out here is we do have over 43 majors on campus as well as 66 minors. But what's really awesome about that is our students are really able to tailor their major towards their career. So some of our students double major or triple major, and a big piece of that is we do have an enhanced academic experience requirement for our students. So 100% of our students do leave Lycoming College with experiences outside the classroom. That requirement really comes down to the relationship that the student builds with their career advisor, as well as their dedication to kind of pursuing the opportunities within their field. I feel like all of our colleagues kind of talked about this across the board with all of your institutions, but a big part of going to college is the opportunities that you are able to kind of take on for yourself. Sometimes the misconception is that once you get a degree, it kind of earns you a job, and that's not always the case. So the work that you do outside of the classroom is just as important as it is in the classroom. And I think that that's a big piece of why we all wanted to present on this, because it just tailors to your success throughout not only your time in school, but also then in your career. So I think that that's, again, why we are all really proud to present the opportunities that our students have at our colleges and universities. So I kind of wanted to jump ahead. I mentioned slightly about our career advisors. Our students all have career advisors based on whatever their majors are, and they meet with them actually the summer that they start. They meet with them before the fall semester in the summer when they start orientation. Those career advisors work with the students to not only help them begin their internship, research, or other opportunities, they also are part of making sure that they're getting their enhanced academic experience before they graduate. So if our students are interested in studying abroad or that internship, they're involved in that. Students are usually able to not only get involved in internships that other students may have already taken, but they can also kind of jump in and create new opportunities for more students. And because even though we're a small institution, we do have a large alumni base. And so our alumni are really a big part of our connectedness to not only the specific fields that our students are in currently, but also ones that have gone to create new ones. And also life after college, about 96% of our students within the 6 months after they graduate go on to graduate school or have a job right after that 6 months, and we're really proud of that. So not only do our programs prepare students for maybe a career right after school, but also prepare them for graduate school. And a good example of that is actually our pre-law program. Our students actually take the LSAT a practice LSAT in their first year here at Lycoming College. And so the faculty are able to work with them and kind of determine where some of their strengths and some of their weaknesses are, so that not only do they pass the LSAT, but they're able to get into the exact school of their dream for law school. And just as everyone else kind of talked about, we have opportunities in field work, internship, research, and global studies. Our field work opportunities, one good example of this is actually our Clean Water Institute. You can actually see that picture. It's from the left side, the second one in. Our students are working with our faculty members on ensuring clean water within central Pennsylvania, so specifically with our Susquehanna River, and going through and not only studying the organisms that live in there, but as well as, you know, debris or other things that are taking place to ensure the future of our waters. Another good example of this too, not only as a field work, but also study abroad or global studies, is our Warrior Coffee Project. So here at Lycoming College, we have our actual own coffee that we're really proud of. It was a program started by actually one of our sociology or psychology professors going over to the Dominican Republic and really starting this foundation. So our students actually go over to DR and study not only how the beans are grown, the business behind it, but also the accounting and the opportunity to provide to the community over there. So that's, again, not only just a field work opportunity, but also study abroad. Another big thing that we're proud of, especially because our faculty have really made this come to life, is we are an undergraduate institution. Therefore, our students are not competing with graduate students for research opportunities. So anything that our faculty is working on, whether in the classroom or even just personally in their own career, our students are able to kind of be pulled into that, being called into conferences to present, actually being published with some of our faculty based on some of the things that they're researching and again getting published. Our students really have a big pull into that, and we're really proud of those things. I know we're kind of getting close on time, so I wanted to be able to just kind of jump so that we can open it up to questions, thoughts, or concerns with anyone that's kind of in this presentation. I know that we all mentioned that we'd put our information in the chat function. So if we want to do that, as well as if anyone's interested in visiting any of the institutions that we talked about, we do have some information here that I'll kind of click through as well for everyone. Are there any questions in the chat function? Does anyone see? No?
I don't think any have come through yet, but as a reminder, if you do have a question, go ahead and just put it in the chat. If it's for a specific school, let us know, but otherwise general questions are definitely welcome. Any questions about admissions processes in general, or obviously about our topic today.
As the visit opportunity slide come through, feel free to screenshot, take a picture. Our contact information are on these slides, as well as, like I mentioned, visit opportunities, our website, so you can follow up with us either through social media or directly by phone or email to any of us.
I have a question that we can all answer in the meantime. And so this is for everybody, and then I'll go last. But what would be one thing that you would have changed either in high school or at whichever college you might have went to about what you did or did not do outside of the classroom?
I'll start. One thing I had opportunity to take advantage of that I did not, that I wish I did, is actually study abroad opportunities. I have friends and colleagues who've done study abroad while in their college, and just hearing about their experiences and just how wonderful it was and how much they got out of it, really made me wish that I actually took advantage of it. So I will say, if you have an opportunity to do a study abroad definitely jump on it. Now, being on the other side and working with students, college students, I definitely encourage it to my college students that I work with. So, you know, if they can take advantage, definitely take advantage.
I'm going to second that and say I wish I would have taken the opportunity to study abroad as well.
I'm going to change your question a little. One thing that we didn't really talk about that I think had a huge impact on my college experience, I participated in our campus work study program, and sometimes I think that students don't necessarily realize the importance of that. I actually did my campus work study position was in the admissions office, and that's how I found my career path. My sister was an education major. Her job was tutoring. She was tutoring students in an elementary school. Actually found her passion, went on to graduate school for that at Arcadia. And I can speak with our own students, like our IT students in work study, they fix my computer better than I could ever do it. So that's another really great opportunity to get some real world experience while you are attending a college. And the great thing about work study is you also get paid for it. So just like a little plug there for campus work study. So don't let that opportunity pass you by.
I'm going to second. Oops, I'm sorry. I don't know who I just cut off. I was just going to second you, Allison. I think my biggest experience that really highlighted my learning outside the classroom was being a resident assistant. And I think also inspired me to want to kind of stay in higher education. I actually worked in housing and residence life for a couple of years even after that, and now I'm in admissions. But I think, again, through that experience, I realized the importance of, you know, critical thinking and crisis management, and realizing that I really wanted to be involved in people's life through that. So I totally second you on that as well.
One thing I want to add about learning outside of the classroom that's really important that I think we didn't mention early on, it's a great way to help you figure out what you want to do, as well as figure out what you don't want to do. A lot of these opportunities, you can think of them as kind of career exploration. So you might get an internship somewhere or do a research project on a certain topic and realize that, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And then that eliminates that from your list. I'll give an example, accounting. If you thought maybe you're thinking you want to, you know, do accounting as a major, and you do an internship at an accounting firm and you realize, oh, this is what accountants really do. It may be an eye opener where it's like, wow, I love this. Or it may move you in a different direction where you're saying, okay, this is not what I thought it was. Maybe I should think about something else. So just something to put out there when it comes to learning outside the classroom and all these different opportunities.
I'm going to take that a little farther as well, because I think my biggest regret is that I didn't take advantage of the things that were offered. And some places you can't take advantage of everything. It's not possible. We only have so much time in our lives. But I think I was a little shy. I didn't know what to expect going into, let's say, a meeting about study abroad or a meeting about internships. And because I didn't know what to expect, I didn't go. Yeah, study abroad is definitely a regret of mine. I did some other things abroad, but I didn't do an official study abroad program. So I think that, you know, taking that leap, and it's really hard, I know, coming out of high school, you might not know anybody at school yet when you start next year or the year after, but kind of taking that leap of faith in yourself and saying, okay, I'm going to go to this club meeting, or I'm going to go to this meeting with my advisor, or I'm going to go to office hours, or I'm going to at least research something that I think I might want to do on the website, and then maybe I'll stop by their office to see if they have a pamphlet. You know, just taking that little bit of steps forward yourself, and knowing that, you know, everybody is in the same boat, first of all. So, you know, you're not doing something you're not supposed to be doing, you're not doing something wrong, you're doing something right by taking those steps and asking questions, for sure. So I think all of our regrets were something that we didn't do. You mentioned that like the accounting as an example, like that could be, that would never be a regret. You'd never go to that accounting office and figure out that you don't like accounting. That's never going to be a regret. That's always going to be something that you learned and a positive. So you can't have regrets that were because you did something. It's always going to be because you didn't do something in college, I think. So definitely try to take those little steps to try everything out that you want to try.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We're just about at the 2:45 mark. We want to thank you all for joining us today. All of our panelists, you did a great job. Give you a round of applause from everyone here. Remember, this is recorded, so if you want to watch it again, you have the chance to do that. And just so you know, once this closes out, there will be a short survey that we ask that you complete. Again, sign up for more PACAC events. We're here for you. We're here to answer questions, and good luck to you in your admissions process. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.